Hi everybody. This is going to be a video that is going to help you to prepare for September, because as I told you in Golden Book on Friday, things are going to be quite different in September. So instead of writing a letter that would go to your parents, I thought it would be useful to make a little video to explain to you exactly what the changes are going to be and the things that you will be able to then talk to your mums and dads about and prepare for. So some of the things are messages for mums and dads, but most of it is messages for you. So we're going to go to different places in the school, which you'll recognise, I'm sure, and go through some of those new procedures. Okay. So first of all, we are at the back gate. So when you arrive at school in the morning, you will be coming in different class groups. So you won't all be coming in at the same time, and you won't be able to choose which gate you come in. You'll either be given the front gate, which obviously is around the front of the school, or the back gate, and you'll come in here. And you'll be given a specific time when you can come into school. And it's really important that you stick to those times, because what we don't want is lots of people milling around and crowding around outside. So when it's your class's time to come in, then you'll line up outside the gate, up the path. And what we ask parents to do is to remain a safe distance away from the person in front of you. If you're not in that class and you do arrive a little bit earlier, we would ask that you would stand right back from the gate to allow those children who are coming in first to come in, and then when it's your class's turn, then you'll line up at the gate. And your teacher will come and collect you from the gate and take you back to your classroom. There will be a one-way system, so you'll come down towards the school, and everybody will feed into their classroom so that no classes have to cross each other, but your teacher will lead you on the way so that you'll know where to go. Okay? So in every classroom that you go in, by the sink, there will be soap, there will be paper towels, and there will be hand sanitizer. When you come in the morning, you need to wash your hands. When you come in after play, you need to wash your hands, and after lunch, and before you go home, and of course after you've been to the toilet. So we will make sure that there's plenty of soap and hand sanitizer and paper towels for you to use at all times, and it's going to be really, really important to keep washing your hands. So the other thing we need to think about is what we're going to bring to school. At the moment, you can only bring your lunch into school and your coat, and your lunch has to be in a paper bag. Now, that's going to be a little bit different in September. You can bring a lunch box with you if you're going to have a packed lunch, and you can bring a school bag. But in your school bag, you need to have the minimum number of things, a minimum amount of things. So you can have a pencil case with a few pens and pencils in if you wanted to. And you need your bottle of water, your lunch box, your sun hat and sun cream if it's sunny, and obviously your coat if it's a bit chilly or if it's wet. So those are the things you can bring in. With PE, on PE days, you also need to bring your PE kit in on the day that you have PE, and then you have to take it home at the end of the day in case you've got a little bit sweaty, so that mums and dads can wash it. So the teachers will send a message to you in the morning to remind you, or the day before to remind you that it's a PE day, so that you'll need your PE kit. And your PE kit needs to be in a sealable bag, so a backpack or a bag that you can seal and close, so that as soon as we've done PE, your PE kit, your used PE kit, will go back in there, be sealed, and then taken home at the end of the day. We'll be doing some special practice with you to make sure that we don't muddle up clothes or anything like that when we're changing for PE. So the corridors will be pretty much out of bounds for children. You won't be coming into the corridors unless you need to go to the toilet. Now, the toilet outside your classroom will be very strictly the toilet that you will use at school. So here's Cedar class, which isn't ready yet. There's Mrs. Prosser in there. Hey, hello, Mrs. Prosser. She's getting some things ready. And so the toilet outside Cedar class will be the one that Cedar class bubble will use. And same over here. So the one outside Maple class, they will use that one there. But you won't be able to use any others. And the central toilets will be closed off. So even at playtime, you will be coming through a classroom door in to use those toilets for the time being. And generally speaking, you won't be walking up and down these corridors. except for exceptional circumstances, because we need to make sure that people aren't crossing over. So we're now walking across the playground, which is obviously where you're going to be playing, but we won't all be able to play together when we come back in September. Definitely not to start with anyway. So you'll be playing in your class bubbles. Now, you will be given the same amount of time for playtime, so that won't be cut short at all, but you'll be playing at different times of the day. Now, the playgrounds are going to have marks on them, which Mr. Thompson hasn't done on this playground yet, but I will show you those on another playground. So on the playground, there will be lines in the middle which you will not be allowed to cross, and it's very important that you don't cross the red line that will be in the middle of your playground, so that you remain in your zone. And there will be 2 red lines, so there will be a pathway up the middle, so it's important that you don't go across that pathway. Not everybody will be outside at the same time. Everybody will have a different time for playtime, but your teachers will tell you what times those are when you get back. Now, it will be the same at lunchtime. So at lunchtime, you will have half an hour playtime outside, and you'll have half an hour to eat your lunch in your classrooms. If that's a hot dinner, and you're in Key Stage 2, you'll be going to collect that from the hall using a one-way system. If you're in Key Stage 1 or the early years, then that will be brought to you. And then after that, you'll have some nice quiet activities to do if you finish your lunch a little bit too quickly. Okay, right, I'm going to go round to the other side of the playground and show you some of the lines so that you can see those. The red lines on the playground, so you'll either be able to play in this half of the playground and not cross this line, or in that half of the playground and not cross this line. You might find me or Mrs. Bileswood or Mr. Mead or Mrs. Chappell walking up and down these pathways to check that everything's okay, but you won't be allowed in this space in between. So you'll get one section of the playground with your class bubble to play in. Okay, that will be playtime and lunchtime. Now, you'll all recognise this room. This is the hall. We won't be coming in here very much in September at all, other than for PE lessons. And you're going to be doing singing in here as well, because there's more space. But we won't be in here all together like we were before. We won't be able to have worship all together. But one class at a time will come into the hall for worship, which me or Mrs. Chappell or Mrs. Bileswood or Mr. Mead will lead, or maybe even Reverend Allison or Hannah or Josh might come in to lead worship as well. And then everybody else will stay in their classroom for worship, but they'll be able to see it at exactly the same time, because we're going to do something called streaming it using the computers, so that you'll be able to see what's going on in the hall, but everybody will get a turn every now and again for that. So, as you can see, I'm currently in the main entrance area of school. There's where Mrs. Potter sits. And there's the front door. Now, this area is going to be out of bounds in September for children and for parents. So the office will be manned and it will be open, parents. But you will be able to communicate through on the phone, through email or on text message, but you won't be able to come into school or onto school site. So there will be signs on the door that say, as you can see if we go outside, strictly no admittance, and that applies to everybody. So please don't come up to school, because we need to keep extra people away as much as possible. Another thing that's going to be really, really important when we come back in September is our values, because even though it's not going to be normal, it's still going to be really, really important that we stick to our core values and we show respect and courage and compassion and humility in everything that we do. And we'll be looking for that in the way that you approach your learning, and in your behaviour, the way that you behave. And it's really, really important with our behaviour that we manage and we respect and stick to the social distancing rules and the hygiene rules that we ask you to put in place. If you're finding things difficult, we will be able to help, and there are things that we have got ready so that we'll be able to help you out with that. So don't worry about that. But it will look different to normal. But you don't need to worry, because we will go through it all with you in September. But our values and really, really good positive behaviour is going to be very, very important in September, as it always is, but perhaps even more so in September. So I think that's probably all I need to tell you at the moment. But I hope this little video has helped to reassure you and to explain some of the things that are going to be different in September. You really, really don't need to worry about it. Some of you won't have been in school for nearly 6 months, which is a really long time. And we know that you might be feeling anxious or nervous or worried about that. But please try not to worry, because we're all in this together. We're all in the same boat, and we will be doing our very, very best to make sure that you settle back in really quickly and that you feel safe and happy back at school. We're going to do everything we can to keep everybody very, very safe and to be able to get back into some really fantastic learning as soon as we can. We can't wait to see you. We're really looking forward to seeing you in September, and we hope you have a lovely, lovely summer break. Parents, if you have any questions or concerns, please direct them to the question mark on our website. If you've got any specific questions relating to what I've just said that are relating specifically to our school, then please feel free to send a text message, and I will endeavour to respond to you if I can. It's going to be a trial and error, children and parents, and we're going to see how we get on. There might be things that we need to change quite regularly, but we're going to see how we get on, and hopefully it's all going to work out really, really well. So take care, everybody. Have a great summer holiday, and we will see you on the 2nd of September. 1st of September is the TD Day, where the teachers will be going through all of the new arrangements, all of the new procedures and risk assessments, and our curriculum planning and everything like that. And then we're back in on the 2nd, so we can't wait to see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.